All right, let's jump straight into this explainer and uncover the hidden realities of entering fast-growing emerging markets like Bangladesh. Look, if you're an international investor, globalization right now means looking at unparalleled opportunities for sourcing, manufacturing, and strategic alliances. The potential upside, it is absolutely staggering. But with those open borders and massive potentials come some very real and sometimes completely hidden commercial risks. Risks that can absolutely devastate your capital if you aren't prepared.
Think about this for a second. 170 million people. Right now, Bangladesh offers an undeniably attractive destination for foreign capital. You're looking at a rapidly expanding economy fueled by a shifting global supply chain, a hungry, burgeoning middle class, and highly competitive manufacturing drawing massive global brands. That 170 million number, it doesn't just represent a workforce, it's a massive consumer base. But there's a catch. Entering an unfamiliar emerging market means stepping into a totally different business ecosystem. You're shifting from highly regulated, transparent environments into spaces often dominated by family-owned enterprises, opaque local practices, and rapidly evolving regulatory frameworks. And that creates immense vulnerability.
So before you wire a single dollar of capital, you really have to stop and ask yourself, how do you know what's actually real? How do you separate the real opportunities from costly marketing claims? You have to navigate what economists call information asymmetry. Picture this, because honestly it happens all the time. An investor sees a flawless PowerPoint. They jump on a remote video call with perfectly English-speaking reps. They review a state-of-the-art website, and they commit millions. 6 months later, they fly over, only to find out the cutting-edge factory they partnered with is actually a rusted facility outsourcing everything to unvetted subcontractors operating far below compliance standards. That is the very real danger of a well-crafted facade.
Here is our roadmap for the explainer today. First, the global expansion dilemma. Second, defining commercial due diligence. Third, mitigating specific investor risks. Fourth, the value of local expertise. And fifth, comprehensive business support services.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the global expansion dilemma. Every single company on Earth is going to present themselves in the best possible light on paper. You'll read these grand claims of robust production capabilities, massive loyal customer bases, and spotless industry reputations. But behind closed doors, well, the commercial reality is often starkly different. We're talking undisclosed financial liabilities, poorly maintained factory conditions, or deeply questionable business practices that could absolutely ruin your brand's reputation. And guess what? Those things are rarely, if ever, advertised in a brochure. Which brings us to Section 2, defining commercial due diligence.
Finding a systematic way to pierce through those marketing claims is exactly what commercial due diligence, or CDD, is designed to do. Now, it is crucial to understand that CDD is not just some standard document review. It's not a dusty audit performed by junior accountants checking boxes. It is your strategic frontline radar. It's a systematic investigation that relentlessly verifies facts to ensure a business can genuinely deliver on its promises. It looks way beyond the balance sheet into actual operational capabilities, management quality, and future growth prospects.
Moving right along to Section 3, mitigating specific investor risks.
Let's break down how this systematically neutralizes the exact hazards you face. First up, regulatory compliance. In emerging markets, legal frameworks evolve rapidly, and enforcement can be unpredictable. Imagine committing to a massive export order, only to have your shipment seized because your local partner's trade license secretly expired 6 months ago. CDD mitigates this by rigorously verifying trade licenses and tax registrations directly with the governing bodies. Second is financial transparency. Fraudulent data is a very real threat. You definitely don't want to acquire a company only to discover hidden debts that suddenly become your problem. CDD aggressively identifies these undisclosed liabilities. And third, supply chain reliability. There is a massive danger in a partner who claims to have capacity, but actually outsources to an unsafe third-party factory. CDD puts boots on the ground to assess true manufacturing and quality control.
Let's look at Section 4, the value of local expertise. To properly execute these defenses, you absolutely need a guide who knows the terrain. You simply cannot Google your way to the truth in an emerging market. Between language barriers, deep-seated bureaucracy, and a highly relationship-driven business culture, trying to verify a company yourself often means you just get the tourist treatment. This is where Trade and Investment Bangladesh, or TNIB, comes in. They bridge that information gap with deep local market expertise and strong pre-existing business networks. If a company has a bad reputation locally, these networks know about it, and TNIB leverages that insider knowledge to uncover what foreign companies just can't see on their own. What's fascinating is how TNIB structures this. It's a rigorous, multi-layered investigation process. Step 1, deeply understand the client's objectives. Step 2 is really where the magic happens: information collection and independent verification. This involves unannounced physical site visits, literally looking at the actual machinery and talking to floor workers away from management's watchful eyes. Step 3 is a brutally honest analysis of the risks and strengths. And finally, Step 4 provides comprehensive reporting and consultation so you can make a fully informed executive decision.
There's a core ethos here. Clients receive objective findings rather than promotional opinions. I want to emphasize that word, objective. In a rapidly growing market where literally everyone is trying to sell you something or secure your capital, paying for an unvarnished, independent, conflict-free truth is the only way to protect your money. You don't need another sales pitch. You need the cold, hard reality.
Finally, Section 5. Comprehensive Business Support Services.
Finding out what is true is just the first step. Actually executing a successful expansion requires a holistic toolkit. TNIB acts as a true strategic partner well beyond the initial background check. They help with targeted market entry and feasibility assessments. They conduct those vital physical site and factory visits. And their buyer-seller matchmaking is incredibly precise, precisely because it's built on a foundation of solid due diligence. You aren't just crossing your fingers at a trade show. You're being strategically introduced to guaranteed, pre-vetted performers.
Furthermore, once operational risks are handled, you face market risk. Entering a new market today isn't just about physical operations, it's about your digital presence. A copy-paste digital strategy from your home country will almost certainly fail. So TNIB helps secure your digital footprint with comprehensive IT services, professional website development, localized SEO, social media, and online campaign management that actually speaks the local language and truly understands local consumer behavior. This brings us to a massive mindset shift. So many companies view due diligence merely as a defensive risk management exercise. A boring box to check for the lawyers. But ultimately, leveraging this kind of deep local intelligence transforms standard CDD into an offensive, strategic, competitive advantage. It allows you to identify the best partners before anyone else does. It helps you spot emerging market gaps that competitors completely missed because they were too afraid of the local risks. It sets you up for dominant long-term growth. So I want to leave you with this to deeply consider for your next global move into a dynamic market like Bangladesh. Are you relying on promotional opinions or verified intelligence for your next investment? The difference between the two is often the difference between a devastatingly costly mistake and a highly lucrative, sustainable expansion. Always choose verified intelligence.